felt he was regarded as an outsider. "Okay, here's an idea," Garrett said. "I've actually been thinking of it for a while, but I sat on it because I know you don't like to poach from other teams." "That's a firm policy of mine," Dean said. "I know, but there's this pitcher on the baseball team, a junior, and he's a big guy, okay? Kind of a gut, maybe, but we can work with that. He's got a really fast pitch. He's already being scouted. His name's Devlin, Mark Devlin." "I know Devlin. He takes gym every year," Dean said. "I don't want him getting injured." "But he wouldn't necessarily," Garrett said. "And I think if we leaned on him, he would play." "You asked him already?" "I ran the idea by him in the spring. I was at a game. He said he didn't see himself as a football player, but you should see him pitch. He's an animal. He'll hit the batters if he has to." "If he doesn't come here voluntarily, I don't want him," Dean said. "Remember Tyler Shelton? He ruined his knee playing football. Lost a basketball scholarship because of my dumb sales pitch. Trust me, you don't want that kind of guilt." The phone rang and Dean picked it up right away. It was Stephanie, reminding him in a sour voice to be home by 4. "I have a dinner shift, okay?" she said. "So please don't be late again." "You know I can't get home early on double days." "You're gonna have to figure something out, because I'm only here one more week. Or did you forget that too?" The line went dead, but Dean said goodbye before hanging up. Garrett made a show of flipping through the papers on his clipboard. "Everything okay?" He glanced at Dean quickly. "I have to get home," Dean said, ignoring Garrett's half-assed attempt at meaningful conversation. Garrett didn't really want to know. No one did. "Would you mind taking a look at the playbook? Find all the ones that we wrote for Laird. We're going to have to change things up." "I'll mark it and make a copy for you." "You don't have to do that. We can compare notes tomorrow." Dean left, grabbing his cap on the way out. He'd worn his oldest one today, with the retired logo. A sunrise between two mountains with a small bird gliding in the corner. Now the bird, an eagle, was front and center, the mountains in the background. The sun had been removed. Outside there were piles of grass clippings everywhere, but no mower in sight. The groundsman liked to start and finish his days early, and was probably already at home on his deck, enjoying a cold one. When Dean first started coaching at Willowboro, it had been up to him to maintain the football and practice fields, a side duty he had thoroughly enjoyed, riding atop the whirring mower in the early evenings, feeling at once productive and leisurely as the sky above turned orange and then pink and then violet. He'd lime the sidelines in the dusky light, and they would seem to glow. The next morning it would all be waiting for him in bright primary colors. Dean always felt as if he needed August, as if these long days of practice, unfettered by academic or familial demands, were an interlude that restored him in some way, a time of simple feeling and nostalgia that connected the man he had become to the boy he had once been. It was the time of year when he felt that he knew who he was. But this year, that clarity was gone. "Don't try to get to the end of your grief." That's what his mother-in-law had told him. She had moved in with them for a few weeks over the summer, and Dean still missed their late-night conversations. 2 teachers waved to Dean from the other end of the lot. Dean waved back vaguely. He didn't know the other faculty that well. He was sequestered in the East Annex, where his office, the weight rooms, and the locker rooms bordered 2 gyms, one large and one small. The teacher's lounge was at the other end of the school. That was fine with him. Although he taught PE, Dean didn't think coaching had much to do with teaching. He was more like a mechanic, or a horse trainer, like his father. The point was, he didn't consider his work to be intellectual. He'd never thought this was unusual, but Nicole had seized on it on one of their first dates. "But the kids learn so much from you," she'd said. "Of course you're a teacher." "All I care about is winning games. If they happen to learn something in the process, that's just a byproduct." She'd laughed, but he wasn't going to be one of those men who claimed that football was character building. It wasn't a civilized sport. The training could be brutal. The players were often crude. He could think of few lessons that would serve anyone for a lifetime. It was a moment-by-moment kind of game. That was why he needed it now. All summer long he had been living one day at a time, as everyone advised. It was an act of will not to look ahead, not to think about all the ways his future had been destroyed. He tried not to look back, either, but that was harder. Everyone said he couldn't blame himself, but Dean knew they were all thinking the same thing, that it would never happen to them.